was 14 and a half years old, and on VE Day I was in our village, which is Carlton. Remember that in the morning we met together, as many of us as could, at the village shop, and the village is a circle. So we started at the shop and collected as many people as possible and just walked around the village back to the shop. And then in the afternoon, I think we had games in a field in the centre of the village. And then there was a street tea party.
The only thing I really remember is in the evening, and that was walking down the embankment with my parents, and all the people were there and all the lights were on, which of course they'd been off during the war, and doing the palais climb, going along the embankment with everyone else, which they were doing it as well. Everyone was sort of skipping and dancing along the embankment. I think we must have had the street party during the day, on that day, with long tables down the middle of the street, because there was no traffic going up and down then, so the road wouldn't have been closed like they do now. We danced in the street during the afternoon and evening, I think. We had a public house on the corner near to us, and they brought the piano out from the public house and put in the street, and people were dancing. I remember the air raid wardens coming round and knocking on windows if you had some light showing, in case the planes saw it. We heard the planes going over, which the German planes had a different sound to the English ones. They sort of, I wouldn't say buzz, but they sort of went brr, 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 and an English plane was a smooth sound.
On VE Day, I was doing my Saturday job or Sunday job. I was working temporary as a farm labourer, and I ended up by helping to take the Land Army girls to the pub. That was my job on VE Day. But there's one story that sticks in my mind about the war. I was sitting under the hedge eating my sandwiches, and I looked up and I saw the American Air Force formation bombers forming up in over Third Eye, whirling away, and they were all formed up, and underneath was the Lancaster bombers coming back from return bombing raids in Germany.
Yeah.
And it was quite a thing.
Yeah.
That's one of the firm things I can remember.
We rode around the village on a flat truck, a trolley sort of thing, propelled by a horse.
Yeah.
And the village is such that you can go right round it. Food was still more or less it's still rationed then.
Yeah.
So food was pretty sparse really.
Yeah.
So I didn't enjoy the range of foods that we enjoy today.
I was at the grammar school during the war time. Most teachers were female, as the male teachers had been called up to serve in the forces. When war broke out, the pupils' first task was to dig a long trench on school field boundaries to use during air raids if needed, and unfortunately it was not required. I never saw a banana during the war, and I can remember the first banana after the war ended. Our road organised a bonfire on the 16th. I attended and met a young lady who had been invited by another resident. At the conclusion, I offered to escort her home, and Mule thankfully accepted. However, it proved worthwhile. We were married in September 1952, and the marriage lasted for 64 years.